How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit that bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos or streams here on the channel. Also, please head over to Twitch. Follow me there at Douglas447. It's got a Detective Pikachu picture. Again, that's Douglas447 with a capital D. And we're going to be talking about the movie Air Force One. Of course, we're going to be talking about positives and negatives and giving you guys my final review score. And yes, this is a film that came out in 1997, and it's about 2 hours long. And I want to say for a fact, I still love this line. Get off my plane. I love that line. That is such a very famous and well executed line that Harrison Ford does at the end of this movie. Get off my plane. I love that line. I know I'm probably butchering it, but yeah, there you go. There's my Harrison Ford um, presidential impression from Air Force One. I don't know why, but some people wanted me to do that while I was watching this movie, so you're welcome for those of you who wanted me to do that. So let's get into positives. First of all, Harrison Ford is amazing, and he's basically a die-hard-like president, and I'm going to be saying die-hard a lot in this movie because here in 2020, when I'm recording this video, people still have it in their brain that Air Force One is nothing but die-hard on a plane. You're welcome to your own opinion, but I completely disagree with you on this one. Harrison Ford is just amazing, and Gary Oldman as the lead villain terrorist in this movie, fantastic. Great chemistry of them going at it and figuring out who's going to be in control of the plane. It's a simple concept with amazing characters, moments, and a plot that everyone can enjoy. Basically, the whole premise is these terrorists that end up being aided by a rogue Secret Service agent. These terrorists end up boarding this plane. They want to get this radical general out of Russian prison that has, I guess, some sort of secret hidden nuclear arsenal that if he gets released, he'll be able to unleash it for retribution for being imprisoned against Russia and America. And so the premise of the movie is that the terrorists want this general released from Russian prison, or they start executing hostages that are on Air Force One, and then eventually they capture the president and they're going to execute him if they don't release this radical general. So it's a very basic concept, but it works really well, and you get to be invested in the movie. I loved how they decided, like, oh no, Air Force One's been taken over by terrorists. We need to have one dude, you know, be able to save the day. And I'm pretty sure that somebody was like, no, we don't need it to be a Secret Service agent. What if it's the president, this John McClane type of person that saves the day and takes back his own plane? And it works really well. Even though it is the president, you still feel as if though he is this ex-military, this ex-pilot, this ex-marine that has a set of skills, and he uses them to take back his plane. But he's also a political figure, which also adds and builds character growth, and it adds to the tension, and it allows for a lot more freedom to explore all these different story arcs and whatnot, which are really well done. It's just a simple plot with amazing action, and the action in this movie is really great. The score at the beginning and throughout the movie is very good, very, very good, very American, if you understand what I mean, if you've seen the movie. Gary Oldman as the villain stays a true villain throughout the film. He doesn't just spout stuff and, you know, at the end has a little showdown. No, he's actually a menace. He's actually a threat. His goons, not so much, but Gary Oldman as the head villain, you don't want to piss him off because he sells the fact that he's here to take care of business. The war room was a cool idea, and it helped to add to the tension of the film. And generally, this is a great film that you could watch from start to finish, and you get invested in what's going on. This isn't a movie where you sit down, you plug it in with your Blu-ray, or you're watching it on your mobile device, and you're just feeding your face with popcorn. No, this is a movie where you get invested in. It's a nail-biting action film. You're going to love all the moments between the president, the first lady, and of course, the president and first lady's daughter. The hijacking and the major plot and events and characters, they're all introduced in the first 15 to 20 minutes. This film also explains why the president has such major combat experience and piloting skills, and it helps you understand why he is so easily able to kick butt and take back the plane. So this film explains that, which is a really good thing. It was something I was scared about while watching the movie. I'm like, he's got all these set of skills, but how does he have all these if he's the president? And the film explains how and why. And honestly, guys, I encourage you guys to watch this movie if you guys haven't. I encourage you guys to buy it, and it's a great rewatch, especially during the 4th of July season for America. For negatives, I do have a couple I have to address. First of all, I think this movie is way too long. It easily could have been cut down to about 90 to 100 minutes long. The last 20 minutes is basically this like combat flight simulator scene, and it drags on for about 10 minutes or so, and it was really unnecessary. This film also has some pacing issues. Like the first 20 to 30 minutes, just, like nail biting action leading up to the hijacking. Then the hijacking happens, and then the film kind of just becomes a bunch of monologue for about half an hour, and nothing really happens. Then it gets into then it gets into the president actually starting to take out the goons and taking over the plane. Then they have the big finale showdown where they're getting all the hostages off of Air Force One. They kill Gary Oldman's character. And then I'm just like, okay, the president needs to get off the plane. And how they get him off the plane, I thought was okay, but could have been better. There's certain parts in the movie I felt like, okay, this could have been cut out. That could have been cut out. And I understand it's a 90s action movie. I understand that. But still, unfortunately, there's things that I felt like they could have easily taken out if they had more time, probably. The Secret Service agent that ends up going rogue, there's no explanation as to why he does so. The film doesn't explain that. It's just like, the film's like, oh, Secret Service agent, he's gone bad. Why? What did the terrorists offer him? Money? Were they holding his family for, help to getting on Air Force One? Why does he do it? Is it a political thing? There's no explanation as to why this Secret Service agent helps the terrorists get on Air Force One. There's no explanation. He just does so. And then at the end of the movie, he dies. So, okay. Also, this... I'll address this again. This movie, I feel like a lot of people, when they associate Air Force One, they constantly think Die Hard on a plane. This is not Die Hard on a plane. And for those people who have said so, I implore you to watch the movie, or watch the movie again, because this is not Die Hard on a plane. Watch Die Hard 1, then watch Air Force One. Completely different. I can understand the similarities. Believe me, I can understand how people think they are similar. But they also have a lot that is different. Okay? Air Force One also having no air security, like there's no fighter escort while they're like flying out of Russia and they're in Germany and whatnot. That is super illogical. There's always fighter jets protecting Air Force One. It's Air Force One of all things, okay? Also, for the sake of national security, the president would have taken the escape pod in this movie and not have remained on Air Force One to save his family and the crew from being killed by the terrorists. And that scene towards the beginning when the president is supposed to getting into the escape pod while the plane's getting taken over and whatnot, that would never happen. He would not stay on Air Force One. In real life, he would not do it. And it's only done for the sake of the movie in order to happen. And also, what's really stupid is that once he's on the plane, he allows, I think, 2 or 3 people to actually die in order to help to keep his stealth. And I'm just like, you stayed on Air Force One, risking your life as the president of all things, and you're letting these people just get executed because you want to keep your stealth and not give yourself up. And see, these scenarios would not happen if you were not on the plane. Okay, but movie logic. Also, why is there a cell phone? Um, why is there a charge on cell phones in order to reach the White House? I think it's like $1 or $2 in order to reach the White House. The president's calling using some random phone, connecting to some telecommunicator, and it's like, I need to reach the White House. Like that would be $2, please. Like, fine. I'm like, I don't think that's real, but okay, if it is, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Like I said, this movie is also rated R, so there is some language and violence. And lastly, to me personally, this film ends without a satisfying conclusion. The president gets off of Air Force One onto a different plane. Everyone salutes him, and the end. Like, we don't get to see the political fallout of like what happens after he's off of the original Air Force One plane and it crashes into the ocean. We don't get to see the aftermath. Now you might be thinking, well, duh, that would have made this movie longer than 2 hours. If they cut out the like the combat flighting simulator scene, for example, and then they put in a little bit, like 10 minutes or so, of the aftermath of what happens once he's back on American soil, that would have been cool. Like, we don't get to see Harrison Ford and his family as the first family get back onto American soil. They're just on a plane, and you're supposed to, I guess, just believe that they get back there. But the film never says that. And the war room conclusion was very strange. The film has a strange ending, and it's like, it makes you wonder if they wanted to do a sequel, and that's why it has such a really bizarre ending. So overall, guys, I think Air Force One is a really great film from the 90s, and if you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, I highly encourage you guys to do so. With that, guys, I'm giving Air Force One from 1997 an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys all have a fabulous day. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream, whether it be here on my YouTube channel or over at Twitch at Douglas447. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a good one.